I've clicked the record button. Yo, what up? Welcome, everybody, to round two. My name's Tam. This is Barrett from Riftbound Ramblings. And we're going to be casting the second round of the Riftbound Regional that happened over this past weekend at time of recording. Neither me nor Barrett have watched any of these, so we're going to be, this will be our live reactions. So chat, no spoilers if you're joining us live. If you're not joining us live, please make sure you do all the cool YouTube stuff, like, share, comment, subscribe, both on my channel here, Tam, Riftwell, and then Riftbound Ramblings, which you can find in the links. So with that, here is little mini baby cams as we go through. I wanted to make sure that our cameras were still on. What sick graphics, holy cow. I want to make sure that our cameras are still on but not covering any gameplay, and they are not leaving us very much room as casters. But we got Viktor versus Kaisa. We saw Kaisa in the first round. Holy cow, the Viktor player is mogging just all the way back.
Or farming, dude. Or farming.
Holy, this guy knows what's up.
Picking starting battlefields for game one here. Don't know who's going first just quite yet, as we aren't hearing the audio or anything like that.
Tell me, the audio would not help with that. Tell me, order of operations, because I'm new, and you've played it significantly more than I do. Order of operations, see who goes first, then pick bases, or pick bases, see who goes first?
I'm pretty sure before anything happens, you determine who goes first.
Okay. So
like
who
you're
goes
not supposed
first,
to have like
and then
prior knowledge of any of the extra stuff. I could be wrong. I have the rules up if you really want me to go find it.
I'm unsure. Maybe the people at home are unsure.
I do so many. I'm mainly just like teaching people how to play the game. So like that kind of minutia stuff when it comes to like tournament play and stuff like that, we don't really focus a lot. But I definitely can figure it out if you want.
It's okay.
I can just like look it up.
So good. What are your predictions inside this match? Once again, chat, no spoilies. Obviously, you might have seen this already. Viktor versus Kaisa. What are your thoughts here?
So, I know that a lot of the Riftbound community is very much in the... they think that Viktor might actually be one of the better decks in the entire game. Which makes sense. I mean, the Mind Domain is very good and has very strong spells, and I'm a big fan of the Order Domain, and I can see where it has its strengths. But I'll be honest with you, man. I think, again, as I kind of said in the last match, Kaisa is the deck to beat. And the reason that is because depending on how the Kaisa player has tailored their deck and what cards are they doing 3 copies of, what are they doing 2 ofs or 1 ofs, how they spread their toolbox inside of their little spell slinging deck. You can have the right answers for a given matchup, or you can have the answers that are not as good. I'm not going to say wrong, because they still have a good use, but it means using only 1 card to answer what your opponent's doing versus using 2 cards to answer what your opponent is doing matters a lot in this game when it comes to exchange of resources. That also being said, being able to play, as you can see, the Fury Domain Kaisa champion unit, that's going to be the one in their champion zone, being able to refill your hand and draw cards matters a lot in this game because you're the one that's slinging spells to keep your units alive. But it looks like here, going first is going to be the Viktor deck. And why did we channel 3 runes, Tam? It's actually because one of the battlefields that we picked for this game says that both players are going to channel an additional rune on their first turn of the game. So Kaisa is going to start with 4 instead, and it matters a lot because we immediately slam this 3-class unit here for Viktor that allows us to play a recruit right off the bat. So getting 2 units on the board, and I'm already seeing different gameplays, at least from this Kaisa deck from the last one, because Kaisa has immediately answered with 2 of their own 2-drops to keep units on the board against their opponent.
Yeah, like this, I do like how versatile this all feels. But Viktor out the gate very strong, conquering. What?
We played a bird. Sorry, the bird has a death knell effect that when it dies, we're gonna draw a card. I think is this one, or it channels a rune.
It's channel a rune.
Channel a rune.
Other player has the draw a card one.
And then we use Viktor's ability to generate us a recruit because we had enough energy to do so. Playing a bunch of weenies is what it looks like.
Viktor says specifically base, correct?
Yes, yeah, I believe so.
It's got to go to base. Okay. I dig it. How many Barrett Bryant tokens do you think I can get for all my Victor recruits?
Your recruits?
Yeah,
I got a billion of them, so you can have as many as you want.
I'm
How many
thinking
recruits do you think you'll ever have on your board maximum?
hopefully 7+, because we obviously know I'm playing that base because that one's big meme. That
Oh,
battlefield, I'm
true.
gonna
I
win.
understand.
I'm gonna win on
The
that
alt
one.
win con?
Yeah.
Wow. Based off of how we're seeing this Victor deck function, I wonder if that might actually be one of the battlefields that they have. Because we're playing a bunch of low-cost units. We have the Poro here that got played. We played our own Sentry, which is that other 2-drop that we just talked about. That says when it dies, you draw a card. They both have one on their board because both of these decks have the Mind Domain. But it's basically just like saying, hey, I'm going to keep putting these little weenies. And because I went first, I have a lot of onus on getting points faster. What do you have to answer me? And it's also kind of looking like a lot of the cards in the Kaisa's hand aren't really spells to answer multiple units. For example, we don't have like a falling star, which could say
Which
I could hit 2 things
is
for 3,
yeah,
which would be huge.
yeah.
But
And
instead we have
basically free because
something.
we're Kaisa.
Yes, and then instead we have something like Shakedown, which is I can deal 6 to one thing, or your opponent's allowed to say, no, actually you can draw 2 cards instead. I don't want you to deal anything to anything. But we're going to go with the Mother Sprite. Got to recycle that Mind Rune. We're going to get a readied Sprite token. The Sprite token is going to help us trade with some of these weaker units. It's going to go into the bird, and unless there's a trick here, but we're completely tapped out, it's just going to kill it, and then we're also going to conquer the battlefield, and that Sprite token is going to die anyway. So you don't really care, but you got the point. You're matching tempo here, at least when it comes to the point game plan versus the Victor deck as we pass back.
Yeah, point tempo, yes. Board state, no, especially with that Sprite that's about to leave. I imagine with Victor on the play here, we haven't even seen his character come out. The 4-drop Victor that says when things die, make more recruits. But I don't even know if we're allowed to really like press that button because of how easy Kaisa can just snipe things out of our base, which I think is like the real power of that character, is the fact that like nowhere on the board is safe. Normally a lot of your really powerful spells feel like they target battlefields a lot rather than targeting things in bases.
Yeah, so we're seeing the Shakedown get played here. We use Kaisa to pay for its power cost, and basically the decision is like, hey, I'm going to deal 6 to this Poro that you're swinging in with, and then because I also played a spell, I can't remember her name, but this little Mind Domain girly, she gets an extra might for every spell that's been played in the turn. And so she went up to 3 might, which is going to match the Poro. And then you still make your opponent have the hard decision of like, hey, let me draw 2 cards or that Poro's going to die right now. And so they obviously let them draw 2 cards. So you drew 2 cards, and then because you played the spell, you still traded. So the Victor player had to commit a different unit, aka this recruit, to also take over it. And then the Sentry's going to come in on the other battlefield and take that one as well, going up to 4 points, which at least, again, when it comes to what the deck is trying to do of, I'm going to hit 8 points in 4 turns, it is doing that, but at this cost of we are slowly running out of cards in our hand. Even with our own Mother Sprite here that we played, swung into the opposing Sprite token, which it was going to die anyway, but we brought in with us a Sentry afterwards, and we're going to play a hitting card for the first time in the tournament. For 1 recycle cost, you get to put a hitting card down on a battlefield that you control, but when you're playing against things like Kaisa, you can play a spell to kill that unit, and as soon as you lose control of that battlefield, you lose the hitting card attached to it.
Yeah, and I'm feeling I got a feeling that's what's going to be happening here. Instantly coming up to just shoot both of these.
Yeah. We drew the falling. We do still get to respond. This is a great one to have. This is a hidden blade, which says you get to kill any unit, and the controller, the owner of that unit, draws 2 cards. So your unit was going to die anyway. You'll draw the 2 cards from the hidden blade going off, and because it was a Sentry, you draw a bonus. So we had a 3-card swing, and you got rid of a falling stars out of your opponent's hand. That's really good, but you are going to still lose the Mother Sprite.
Yeah, that
Sprite
and
mother.
like the Sentry like did its job. It scored its point.
Yep.
Just like it's pure value at that point. But at the same time, we have officially lost our entire board over on Victor's side.
Correct.
For the unit spamming deck to have absolutely no bodies at home feels kind of bad. Kaisa hitting the board though, saying that now, we're dropping cards. These blue cards are slippery. This has got to be a mermaid guy for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. The Kaiser's going to hit the board, and this is the safest time to play it, right? As you have control of both battlefields. Your opponent's going to be able to answer those, but if you answer the battlefield units, you're not going to answer the Kaiser, which will set the Kaiser up for next turn. And as we know, our opponent's playing some kind of weenie units. Kaiser can easily kill over one of them, take the battlefield, draw you a new card, and still keep up on the point game. But I agree with you. We're going to have to reestablish a board.
And on that point, on the playing the Kai'Sa, like this being a good time, we just watched Viktor play out the kill spell, right? We played out one of the three potential copies of the Throat Splitter. That's not the name of it, is it?
Hidden Blade.
Hidden Blade. Thank you so much. Throat Splitter is a different card that makes you discard a card, but if it does damage, they get to draw a card. Just kidding. That's a different game. Yeah, very cool. Crazy Jamie, thank you for the reset. Yeah. I will put a thing on here. Thank you, buddy. I appreciate it. Alert box.
Okay, scary territory. While you're thinking your resubs, we played a ton of units, and AKA we played a ton of recruits. We got a bunch of units on our board, but we didn't reestablish the board state. It's gonna pass back into Kaiser's turn, going up to 6 points, which is range of which you can win the game.
Yeah.
And all it really does is it denies the conquer ability off the Kai'Sa, but you basically get to spend your entirety of your turn either keeping your resources ready for tricks on your opponent's turn and bringing your units back into your base to set up for the win next turn. And the Viktor player has to now just guess of like, hey, what's in their hand? How can I survive and survive like what's going to happen next turn? Or you have to have straight removal and get rid of these units. Because if you can remove 2 of them, but they're in their base, they can only conquer 1, and a Singularity from hand is exactly the kind of spell that we need to be playing right here. Singularity says you can deal 6 to up to each of 2 units. Doesn't matter where they are, Tam.
Yeah.
So we're going to hopefully deal 6 to Kai'Sa and the Mother Sprite. Incredible play here, denying the draw because we didn't kill the Sentry, and most of the Kai'Sa decks don't have an answer to that. Your answers are about removing your opponent's stuff, not necessarily protecting your own.
From here, I looked over to thank a sub. I came back from having 0 cards to now having 100. And we get to just move 2 weenies up to 2 bases and then just like get our 2 points. And unless we have on Kai'Sa's end some way to bring something in accelerated, we can't win the game on the next turn. And so we're really setting ourselves up over on Viktor's side to come in for a big swing. And we're asking our opponent, hey, you got to have something that matters.
Yeah, Void Seeker coming in here. It costs 3 because it deals 4 damage, but it also redraws you a card. So that's saying, hey, I know you move that 1 recruit there. I'm gonna make you use another one, and then immediately playing a Hextech Ray, saying, hey, I'm gonna make you use another one. This is how you get the removal out. Another Void Seeker here draws another card, and then it says, hey, you have to start using your real units here, not just those. And he goes, nope, that one's fine. I got enough units off of your board so that the same question is asked as we go to 6 points here for Viktor. The Kai'Sa player has to not only play the accelerated unit, but we also have to have an answer to what might happen. I think the only out right now... Oh, okay, so I was wrong. Viktor does not say the base. You can play it anywhere. So we played it into the battlefield. Okay. And it says now we're going to play Cull the Weak. It says, hey, I'm going to kill a unit, and you have to kill a unit. So we completely removed everything on the Kai'Sa's board. So, Tam, it's not just about playing 1 accelerated unit to win the game now. You have to play 2.
Yeah. You have to play 2 and deal with the units at the base, which Kai'Sa famously good at doing, but it's still a 2-pronged, 3-pronged attack because we are getting so close to the end of this game. And, again, we saw Viktor go from nothing to everything so quickly, and they were all ready for some reason. Very
well.
Quickly,
so they all
Viktor...
came in exhausted. We took a whole turn off while you were thinking those stuff.
I see.
And that turn off was strictly to play these units that generated more recruits, right? So and because those units are still alive here. The idea here is that you play the 3-cost one. The Faithful Manufacturer, that is a 2 might unit that says when you play me, you get a recruit token here. And then you can also play the Vanguard Captain, which has Legion, so it can't be the first card you play in a turn. When you Legion and play the card, you'd make 2 recruit tokens. So he generated all that value, had those units. Passing back from Kaisa's turn, because they just had to play units, they played double, I think it's not Gymcraft, I think it is, I don't know what it is. But the girl that scales and you play spells, you have to play them in your base. So if Viktor finds a way to immediately send units onto this other battlefield, they can win the game this turn. But you have to
figure out how to
think,
do it. How much acceleration
are
do
you
have?
staring? Yeah, are we staring across maybe removal spells from the Kaisa's hand? So if you played a high-costed accelerate unit, would you just lose it automatically? But we're going to pay 3. We're going to play another one of those manufacturers, and it creates the recruit token where you play the unit. So it's going to double up even more power, an extra 3 might onto that battlefield. Another 2, another Call the Weak here. Hey, I'm going to kill one of my units. It's just going to be this little recruit. And you have to kill off one of yours. It makes sense. So, Tam, this is the other way you can win in Riftbound. You can either have to conquer all the battlefields and get to the 8, or you just hold.
That makes sense to me. Okay, I was like, just leave the guy at home. What do you put one of them back and then move it up to the thing? We don't need to.
Because you have to conquer both of them.
Love it.
If we just hold this one battlefield, we can win the game as Viktor. With 2 readied runes on our turn, we can still play things like Hidden Blades if it's like a character or a unit trick. But the question here is that Kaisa has to have enough removal for 5 units.
And we're so nervous. Look how twitchy this finger is. We are ready. We are waiting. He's like, quit counting, quit doing your math. Just pass.
Looking at how many runes you got. It matters because 2 readied runes is enough to play something like a Hidden Blade. So it is scary. So we're gonna start with a smoke screen.
Okay.
It gives something -4 might, but it goes down to 1. It can't die from this.
Yes. So trading a card in hand to potentially trade a little bit. We do see a cleave in hand, which is going to be really effective at helping clean up this base.
It might stupefy in the same idea. It gives -1 might, minimum to 1, and it draws you a new card here. But we played another spell. So again, this I gotta find the name.
Yeah, you have to go find it. It matters.
No, it's not Gymcraft. I know it matters at this point. Oh my gosh, what's this girlie's name? Oh, I hate not being able to find this quick enough. Ravenbloom student now has 2 procs on her.
And Darius coming in, really high impact. Whoa, and the lean back. We did not expect Darius, and I can see a cleave coming in.
So Darius didn't see us play that second spell. We actually kind of misplayed our hand there. If you played Darius as the second card, Darius would have been coming ready. But because we didn't, Darius comes in second. We're going to play the cleave. It's another spell. The Ravenbloom is going to get an extra 1 on it, plus the 3 might. And we're going to swing in. And he goes, yeah, man, I don't have enough to defend that. I'm going to wipe it. And the Ravenbloom will live. We didn't have a spell. We posture that we did, and we just didn't. So now we have no board, 3 cards in our hand, and we're gonna give temporary to one of our. No, we're not. I don't know what we played. It's the hidden spell that draws 2.
Yeah,
the book. You're right.
The book.
Which I'm surprised I guess we just drew it, but yeah, that's consult the past. So we paid 4 basically and drew 2 cards. We're going to pay 2 here. Looks like we have a Hidden Blade that we drew. We're going to kill the unit that says you win the game.
Unless you
retreat it
home up to our hand, and then it goes right back into our board at the end of the turn? Question mark?
No, it goes in right away.
Retreat
says you just pick.
It just goes to your hand?
Yeah, you just go straight to your hand. For one energy, you pick it up.
Okay.
But it still means that Kaisa can't win this turn, because again, as that rule states applies, we can conquer, but it's just going to draw us a card because we can't go to 8 unless we conquer both battlefields. So we have to play a card here, like this Kaisa champion unit, and we pay the accelerate cost on it. So we go in and swing for game, and that accelerate unit is the reason we're able to win this game. So Kaisa taking down game 1 after a pretty astounding performance from the Viktor deck for just playing a bunch of mini units, right?
Yeah. The dichotomy from the last match that we saw on especially the Misfortune side of like playing these absolutely massive mighty units into this game, huge duality. All right, skipping ahead isn't working. We're gonna click. It's too far, Tam.
Yeah, that's you.
So what do you think Victor had to do in that game to win? Do you think it was just Kaisa got lucky, found the top deck with the accelerate and moving on, or do you think it was anything impactful that we missed?
I think it is just still a hard matchup. It's not unwinnable, as you can see. Like, that was a very competitive game. Both players getting to 7 points. It literally came down to which cards were available in both players' hands at the end of that game, which, again, it's a draw one game. So, like, it really does matter on, like, what you used and when you used it. I don't think anybody necessarily, like, played a card at a wrong time. And you have to think, aside from the Darius not being played as the second card, if it was just going to get played anyway, that could have just been game on that turn, and it seems like the Victor had already run out of gas, and they had one play.
Drawn on the Stupefy, right? So we could have drawn off the Stupefy, then played it, and we just missed the opportunity.
Oh, true.
The Stupefy was second.
Or also, yeah, exactly. You're right. We could have drawn off the Stupefy, and by then it doesn't come in ready. You're 100% correct. But the idea there is just like, Victor had this one giant play to win the game, and it more so questioned Kaisa, did you have the answer? And even still postured that they might have also had an answer of their own. They didn't. It's a little misfortunate. I'm not going to say it's luck, but like, it is very much about the exchange of resources. Excuse me. But yeah, we're going to go ahead. We get to go first again as the Victor deck, and that means all of these resources that are on the Kaisa side of the board can just be used as reactions. So the Void Seeker, very impactful immediate answer if your opponent only plays one unit, because you get to kill it and redraw a card. And so we're just going to go and play a Pouty Poro to try and reestablish a board. I think this is Pouty Poro. It's Daring Poro. I was wrong. And then we are going to use our Victor ability to generate a recruit and just get some more little weenies on the board.
I mean, it makes sense. Our goal here is to swing wide. And I like Kaisa coming out the gate, even on the rival's turn, just instantly trying to break things best that we can. Kaisa, champion, hitting the board as quick as we can. Our goal here is to move to bases, conquer, and then draw extra cards. Or channel. Like, we are recycling a ton with this Kaisa deck, throwing back spells. So there might be a world where, like, if we already have the gas for the control in hand, let's just channel some runes. Because she gets the choice, right? It's channel or draw?
No. You're confusing her with Kiana. Kiana is a choice. But I'm pretty sure Kaisa is so only draw when you
Keanu is the orange one.
Yeah, correct.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. And she has Deflect.
This one has
Accelerate. Yeah, drawing cards is dope. She's just impactful because she is a champion unit that doesn't cost a power. So you have this unit that you can play on curve at 4 runes, and you don't have to, like, if you don't pay the Accelerate cost, she's just incredibly good, no matter what. And she doesn't, like, reset your runes back in a different direction. But you're right. That's all we did is we played that. And we have one ready rune here for Kaisa. The only thing we could potentially play here is a Hextech Ray. But it looks like we're just going to let the Victor player start generating points as we move a recruit up. And then we're going to also play our champion unit here for the first time this match. The Victor Order champion unit, which says whenever a non-recruit unit dies, make a recruit unit back into your base.
Yeah, I love it. I mean, this makes sense. We lost that game because of lack of bodies. And so forcing this Kaisa to target Victor first, and then still, does he see himself die? Or does he say other units?
Other. I think he says other. He wouldn't see himself die.
Either way, spend your spells, Kaisa. Target me first. Don't attack the other. Don't target the other things. And just there is a threat on the board. You have to deal with it.
Yeah. Notably as well, it's a 4 might unit. So either it's going to take 2 cards here, or a giant thing like a Singularity from the Kaisa player to deal with it. Or, again, you could play a Falling Star, but you would have to point both ping 3s at the Victor, which, again, if you're just doing that 1-for-1 trade, Falling Star costs 2 power. Granted, Kaisa pays for 1 of them. But, yeah, I think instead it's just going to force this option here of Kaisa attacking into the recruit instead, because you don't want to give your opponent another recruit. And it looks like we have a Hidden Blade from our hand at reaction speed. We're going to try and kill this Kaisa before anything. And he goes, yeah, man, I guess I'll let it die. But he does get to draw 2 cards because the owner, the controller of that card, gets to draw 2 cards whenever the unit dies.
Which could have been anything. Even a Kaisa.
It could have even been a Kaisa. And we haven't played anything from our hand. We have all of our runes to our disposal. But the question now is, with no units on your board as Kaisa, you have to. This is the hard decision for the Kaisa deck now: is do you play removal to stop your opponent from scoring more points, but they still have units in their base to score more points, or do we reestablish a board state? And it looks like we're going to slam Darius as our first card. And then for the last two, play another Ravenbloom. So Darius will ready himself and give himself 2 might. And so going in and swinging at that base again, killing off the recruit, scoring the first point for Kaisa.
Love it. And smartly attacking the battlefield with the recruit rather than the Poro, so that the victor that's on the board does not recruit another recruit.
Yeah. Again, though, scary state. Completely tapped out for the Kaisa player. These units are ripe for the killing, because if we just kill them in a natural way, Kaisa cannot respond with anything. No smoke screens, no deal damage to units, nothing. So if you, as Viktor again this turn, have more ways of answering the units, you've put Kaisa back in that same question, while also hopefully going up to 4 points while Kaisa's only at 1. Yes, there it is. Oh, we love it. This is I don't remember the first word of this card, but it's a shark. Riptide something. Riptide something. Oh, I hate having to scroll.
It is up on screen for everybody at home to
Oh,
see.
wow. Yeah, if you can read that. Riptide Rex, that's his name.
Riptide
Rex says when you play me,
camp
deal
counselor.
6 to deal 6 to an enemy unit at a battlefield. So can't pick the Ravenbloom that's back in the base, but immediately kills off this Darius. And then it says, like you said, Tam, I just get to move this little recruit in, score up to 4, and you remove the heaviest might unit on the side of Kaisa. And all you have to do is stare across this Ravenbloom. Honestly surprised we didn't move the Poro back to our base, wanting to threaten to use another hold score here. But we're going to play another Kaisa from our hand and accelerate it. Going into it, immediately kills this recruit off. It conquers. We draw another card. So the Kaisa's coming in clutch here.
Yeah.
We still have this Ravenbloom.
The idea of not moving the Poro might be that we're okay if it dies. If it dies, we get the recruit and we get to fight back for that base again. Otherwise, let it just sit there and do its job of just accumulating these points and be a target. Or I think actually, is this not the base that says you're not allowed to retreat? If it moves there, can it? I think it's the spiderweb layer.
You might be right. I mean, that is the thing I'm doing the least amount of, is looking at the battlefield.
That's okay. You know, they're not even like an important aspect of the game.
No, I mean they are. The Vile Ma's lair. Is that what that one looks like?
I think it might be.
It is the Vile Ma's lair.
Hey, there it is. There it is.
That's pretty cool then.
Yeah.
So then, yeah, you're right. Forget what I said.
Me.
You were right.
Yeah.
That's what you're here for. You're here to correct me when I'm wrong, because I'm wrong a lot.
That's what happens when you ramble.
Yeah, the Poro did die, and just like that, just like you said, the champion unit Viktor is going to see it die, which means we're at least going to get a refunded recruit back, which is committed in our base. But we are then also going to hit that Viktor with a falling star, picking both of the choices onto that Viktor. So we're just going to get rid of it before that even happens, I think.
Yeah.
And so we have lost that. All we have left is the Riptide Rex. Kaisa goes up to 3 points. And Riptide Rex is still a 6 might unit. So, like, it can contest against these units that the Kaisa has up on the battlefields. But the question is, I mean, I saw that Singularity in our hand. Do you just try and get the Singularity use here? No, we're going to swing in. It's going to easily kill that Kaisa, as we are completely tapped out once again. Daring Poro, coming in. And we're going to recycle 1. And because we've legioned, we've played a card, we're going to get 2 more recruits as well as
a third. Wow.
And then we're going to use a third from the Viktor. And just like that, your board's back,
gone.
right? And
the board's right back.
So this is what I kind of wanted to talk about as we go back into Kaisa's turn, is that people have a lot of faith in the Viktor deck. Because from what you're seeing on screen, Tam, creating a bunch of units and all the cards that the Kaisa deck is typically doing to answer those units on the board are like single target things. You have to use a lot of cards in your hand to get rid of all these little mini guys that exist for Viktor. But like we saw in game 1, the Viktor deck can run out of steam if it just uses its resources too quickly, which you feel like you have to when you're playing against a deck like Kaisa.
Yeah. 100%. And especially like these big swingy turns like Darius, right? Like Darius comes in, we literally play anything else, including this cleave. He's going to come in and take out my
5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 might Darius swinging in against this 6 might Rex. It's going to easily carry over.
scoring a
Dude,
point,
look at these
and then tying
these
up the
cute little
game.
tokens they have, man. They're like the ones we use. Look,
They,
there's that little Assault 3 one.
yeah, I mean, they look, they are very nice. They are color because they weren't printed from my printer. I'm sure they were made, they were made at a Kinko's or something.
Yeah, 8 runes here for the turn for the Kaisa player. We've looked at this singularity on our hand for 2 turns in a row now.
I think we just like, don't
really
want to get a pump from Kaisa. Do these colors have pumps that we could possibly play?
No. So that was exactly, I think, the struggle of what happened when they played Singularity last game, was that a lot of the cards in the Kaisa deck don't protect your units from other things. Your answer is just killing off their stuff. So when you hit the Kaisa deck with a Singularity of your own, which it looks like is exactly what's coming down here, they don't typically have ways to protect them. They can't give Deflect right away. Like, they can't give them extra might. Aside from Darius, you'd have to play 2 cards here in a row to get the 2 might and ready Darius kind of thing.
Is Darius 2 might or
the
1
Raven
might?
Bloom.
I keep seeing the token say 1.
I thought it was 2. I think it's 2. But yeah, Singularity going to resolve. And so I think now we're in that same situation that we were kind of, if you remember last game. We're going to start probably swinging in with these recruits to get us closer to that winning number. And we're going to have to see the Kaisa player use spells from their hand to answer the units on the board. But he said, nah, it's good. Well, if you let that one be good,
are you gonna
the
let the
question
next
is,
one?
do we spend a recruit? Because we're in that same boat, right, Tam? Remember last game?
Yeah.
If we go and we send a recruit to the Vile Mausoleum, we'll go to 7. So then the question becomes, do you keep all of your units in your base, or do you overload one of these battlefields again and try and get a hold score?
Yeah, hold for 2 turns. But I feel like we choose to do neither.
It's neither of those plays.
We value
keep them in our base.
The people at the base.
Yeah.
Whoa, that's crazy.
And now the only way we can win is we have to conquer both bases or battlefields.
Which I dig, which I like a lot. We say, hey, Kaisa, you got to figure out how to make the board, make the battlefield, and then we can fight there. And I'll have all of my stuff ready, because like we don't actually care about that recruit dying, because we're just gonna have to take it back either way.
Yes, exactly. And especially when it just gets taken here by a sprite temporary token, and that's all we played. We're going to keep 5 energy up, including us, but we're going to play one of our own Kaisa cards of our own that Viktor also gets to play because they have the Mind Domain. We are going to see the tried and true late game drop, the Fox coming in. This is the Thousand-Tailed Watcher. And we paid the accelerate cost, so it's also an extra attacker for this turn, giving -3 might to all of Kaisa's units right now.
Down to minimum 1 or no?
So minimum 1. So this sprite is a 1 might unit, but it matters a lot more. I guess the Raven Bloom disappeared and I didn't see it.
It got shot with the Singularity.
Oh, you're right. The Singularity a while ago. Yeah, and that looks like it's going to show game, basically, on the board. Kaisa says, I don't got it. Game 2, going to the Viktor player. Muck here, going to game 3.
Nice. All right. That was dope. I mean, kind of showcasing exactly what we're looking for Viktor to do, right? And I loved the patience. So much patience that even, like, we were confused by it of, like, what is the thing that could be coming up and out next, you know?
It was almost like a reversal of game 1, right? I think the problem that happened in game 1 was that the Viktor player just ran out of gas and didn't have the right card at that moment of the game-winning move. And because the way that we structured and did what we did, right? Hey, I'm just going to leave this 1 unit on this battlefield. Go to my 6 points. I will find a way to score both by keeping all of my units safe. I will keep them here in my base. Play the Thousand-Tailed Watcher.
I think the last base that we're allowed to play here is we both start with a point. I think this game's gonna go to 6.
Whoa! Is that the one that it is?
But we've just scored.
You're
2
way
points.
better at seeing the. Oh, I see.
We just scored 2 points.
You're right.
Whenever they do that graphic, all the bases are at the bottom. They have all 6 bases available, and they were just the same one.
You are correct. This is the Arena's Greatest, which says at the start of each player's first beginning phase, that player gains 1 point. Both of these players will start at 2 points. This is a 6-point game, which if you're the Victor player is a disaster
You think
because you
so?
are going second. You're going second.
That's fair.
And
that's fair.
as we saw from the first match of today, Tam, as long as you can generate a board, it is not difficult for Kaisa to start accelerating point game early, and then you use your spells to protect the units that you played at the beginning of the game.
Man.
But an incredible play here. We started the turn off for Victor because we started with a Cull the Weak, so they lost their Raven Bloom, and then we generated a token with Victor, so we're actually going to be the first person to get a score here in this game, which is huge when it comes to both of us starting at 2.
Yeah, 100%. Especially with Victor's halfway done, right? Halfway done and has established a ton of extra board state. But Kaisa can be dropped on this next turn and have runes
We
open.
can accelerate it if we want
to play extra things and have Kaisa move on the next one.
Look, just see him how he's like, here's my 5 runes. Here comes the Kaisa on curve.
Yeah.
It makes sense because we're gonna be able to take over both of these battlefields. Just like I said, Tam, we're gonna counter this, draw 1. We're gonna put our sentry up. And when it dies, we're gonna draw 1, going up to 4 points.
We're within
I know
lethal.
it says 3, but we're at 4.
And that's huge. Singularity.
No, so we still have to go to 8, Tam. You're kind of
so
reversing
right.
it.
I'm backwards.
Yeah,
I'm backwards.
we still have to go to 8.
I'm backwards.
But
sorry, I was
yes,
getting ahead of myself for sure.
So we're gonna just start things off. We're gonna swing in this manufacturer. It's immediately gonna get Hextech Raid. It looks like, using our Kaisa ability to pay for the recycle costs and turn our last rune sideways. Hey, do you have an answer? And he goes, yeah, I guess I will just go ahead and Hidden Blade your unit instead of my own. This could be a huge decision here, Tam, because there's just sometimes a real reason why you should just pick your own unit. I guess I'm confused. Why didn't we?
I'm also confused. Maybe it was.
I don't either.
It happened in a showdown, right? Does Hidden Blade say that?
That's what I thought. Hidden Blade does have action timing, I'm pretty sure. So I guess the question is, we weren't in a showdown. Because the Hextech Ray, I'm looking them up. Because there is a Hextech Ray has action timing, so the Hextech Ray can only be played in showdowns. So we had to have gone to a showdown.
Interesting.
It is interesting.
We did.
I don't know the minutia of what happened.
Walk the plank, or whatever it is. That was both.
Cull the Weak.
Cull the Weak. Thank you. The Kaisa is now off the board, and that Kaisa was accelerated.
Yeah,
We
no
lost,
units.
Yeah, no, it was accelerated. We lost the rune to play that one because it mattered so much, right? Traded a rune for a card and a point, essentially.
We do have a billion cards in our hand, though.
Yeah.
Again, that's just the benefit of the Kaisa deck, is that while you are playing the game and using these units that your opponent has to answer, you're drawing cards. Sentry draws a card when it dies. Kaisa, when it conquers, draw a card. This Kaisa that just hit the board. We are going to pay... Nope.
It looks like we're
Falling
for...
Falling Star.
Yeah. Cleaning up
Okay,
both
makes sense. Just
pieces, making sure we do not want you to go to 7. That would be devastating.
Yeah, resets the board state. It makes sense to me, as Victor has also done quite a bit of recycling of their own. So, only going to 6 here as well. Very much, reestablishing the I went second this game kind of feeling. But now there's a Kaisa on the enemy board that you have to answer. We're going to play a Sentry. We are going to recycle 1, get our first gear for the game on the Victor side of the board, for this match, I should say. And we have 4 to play with. The question is, do we play our champion unit? And it looks like we do. We have that gear that we played, so you don't have to pay the recycle costs. Here comes Victor. And if this Sentry dies without the Victor dying, we will draw a card and make a new recruit to replace it.
Kind of just like saying, hey, I know that weenies are what's going to win me the game. And I know that.
Are we going to see the signature spell here? Do we have enough? 1, 2, 3, 4. We have 8 energy right now. And I think we have 8 energy, and I think we might see an Acathian Rain come through. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 pays 1 of the power costs with Kaisa. The other 2 with our board. Acathian Rain says, in any way that you'd like, deal 2 damage, do this 6 times.
Yeah. So it just clears out
You get to pick
the board, and they die at the same time. Does Victor see the other guy but die?
No, they will die together.
Dang, what a blowout. But that's a 7-cost spell, right? Like,
It is
we
a 7
got
cost
there.
signature spell. The reason to play Kaisa, you might say, because only she can play that card. But then, of course, the Kaisa going to move in, conquer, go up to our 5th point, draws our card, and then we are once again kind of on the back foot. We spent all of our energy last turn trying to establish that board. One spell says that we lost it all.
We do have 7, so we can establish our thousand tails, but I don't think that we can pay for the accelerate cost.
You can't. You'd have to have 8.
Yeah.
Have to have 8.
Then...
It does cost that 1 extra.
Yeah. I believe that we are also in overtime.
Yeah.
So unsure what the times are. I think it is you get 1 turn, I get another turn. I think this game might just be going to a draw because of this. Unless we retreat it back to back to hand.
That matters
if Kaisa
a lot
gets another
because
turn, we get to accelerate it.
Correct, you do. We don't have another way to get another point here. We're generating units. This is great and dandy, but if that was turn 0, we now go to turn 1, essentially, going to Kaisa. You draw your card for turn. You can play a Kaisa. We even have a Darius as well. If we have enough runes to pay for all of these, we could go for the double score here. Going up
9?
to 7 and present.
So no.
Darius is 5. Kaisa's 4. We just can't accelerate into it.
Yeah.
But we are going to play another... You played the wrong card. He played another Acathian Rain, and it was supposed to be this Kaisa. Very funny. They all got Kaisa on the art. Kaisa's coming in, accelerated, goes in, draws a card, scores us to 6. And then, the question is...
What do we do?
How much of a board are you going to put? Another Raven Bloom going to hit the board, keep 2 up, pass back. We are now on turn 2 of turns. Going back to Viktor, we ready up, channel our 2 runes, 3 cards in hand. What can we do?
Currently not enough power to deal with this Kaisa, but we know that there is a Thousand Tails in hand. And the Singularity, right? And so we have enough runes now. 6, 7, 8, 9. We have enough runes to play it accelerated, but the question is what do we have? It looks like Singularity is the idea. Shooting both units, clearing out the board one more time, doing a good Kaisa impersonation over here for Viktor.
Yeah, that's the benefit of having mine. It's like what we kind of talked about all the way at the beginning, right? The combinations of why you have different domains on different legends, you get kind of the same idea of those mind cards that are being played in the Kaisa deck, but the order domain being a very different axis that the Viktor deck plays on, having a much bigger presence, hopefully, on the board when it comes to multiple bodies. We're going to double up. We are going to double up, try and take the hold, and then play another one of those. I call it the bird, but it has a name. It's bird. the soaring scout. When they die, you channel runes. Exhausted. So, but that was our last turn.
Is to hold bases and not let Kaisa score twice.
Can we see the double turn here? This is going to be probably enough. We played the Darius. We played the Cleave as our second card. The Darius we're ready and get 2. We saw this play on the second game. It's a 10 might unit when it goes in with the Assault. And there's just not an answer here.
Yeah.
These are all going to die. We're going to channel our Toon Runes when they die, but we're going to go to score of 7. And at least if it's a 3-turn game, and I'm pretty sure that's what it is. Oh, I guess they might just have 10 minutes to try and finish.
Interesting.
10 minutes overtime. I haven't looked at the tournament floors.
That is okay. I mean, there's a Fox coming in.
We're playing the Watcher. -3. We're swinging in with the Watcher with the accelerate cost. Sorry, play the Watcher. Fun to play. Got anything?
I love
players
are playing fast. We know we're in overtime, and the judges I love are just being like, slow down, please do it right.
Yeah, because the game works right. So if from what I understand, playing a unit doesn't start an ability to be chained on, but because the Watcher hasn't when you play me do an ability, abilities can be reacted to. The
double smoke screen? You ain't seeing nothing, dude.
He goes, yeah, man, I don't think I got enough. Yeah, so I think that's going to basically be game.
We played our second card, which means Darius goes back up to 2 because of the Legion.
Yes.
Whoa, that was
Goes back out from the
crazy. And the least awkward handshake I've ever seen in the entire world. Both these players are so incredibly nervous. Congratulations to Kaisa again. Wow. Wowzers. I'm sure that won't happen again at all on stream.
The awkward handshake part,
Or Kaisa's winning screen.
Oh, sure. Yeah, I mean that was exactly what it was. So from what I understand, I don't know the tournament rules, but yeah, we got to overtime. We were at the 1-1 scenario, which was a better fight than what we saw in round one. Kaisa still being able to pull it out because of those hand tricks. And again, I think at the end of the day, getting that hand and card advantage of drawing all those extra cards, which led to the ultimate victory of the Kaisa player, taking it down in overtime.
Dope. Very, very cool. With that said, this was round 2 of the event. If you wanted to see more, me and Barrett are going to be casting the entire stream from the last Riftbound regional, the first Riftbound regional ever, live here. This would be a playlist over on the YouTube channel. Make sure you go check out Riftbound Ramblings. You can get a link to that either in the description or by clicking the @ in the title. So with that said, we're moving on to round 3. Barrett.